Welcome. Here we go. It's another day. Happy Monday. Happy welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're all back with us. Those of you on Spotify and Apple Podcast and Megaphone, thank you very much. We're growing rapidly there. We're growing rapidly everywhere, but my goodness, the podcast side of it's just going bananas right now. So obviously, you're enjoying what we're talking about. So we'll just keep doing what we're doing as long as everybody keeps watching. Also, gang, don't forget Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Shows coming up here. Just a few more days to get your shirt orders in, or we're going to not have any time to get you your shirts if you don't jump on there now and order your shirts so that you have them for the show. So you show up wearing a shirt, and Captain Dave gives you all kinds of free stuff. You want to get there early on the second, third, fourth, or fifth, because it is going to be a massive crowd. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be plenty of parking, but you may be walking a mile to get to the exhibit halls. It could be quite a walk. So make sure you're there early and just understand, be patient. The lines are going to be incredible. That's the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March at the Orange County Fairgrounds. It's going to be insane. I will be there speaking every day. We'll have a booth. Kelly Girl and I will both be there speaking, shaking hands, kissing babies. It should be the time of our lives. We're all super excited about the show. So I hope you all make it. And those of you on Spotify and Apple Podcast and Megaphone, go back if you get a chance and watch the shows on YouTube when you're back at home or something. I know a lot of you listen to us while we're driving around, but when you get home, go look at that Billy Kay interview we did on Friday. There is some phenomenal footage on there. You'll be totally blown away with the bluefin fishing that Billy's been into for the last few years. And then also go look at that show we did a couple weeks ago with Todd Manser. Pretty amazing swordfish video on there. But King, we're going to get started now. It looks like we got everybody that's coming's on board. So we're going to get started here. First of all, I want to talk about this thing going on back east on the eastern seaboard. We're just going to touch on it for a few minutes. Then we're going to get into a couple of videos that I have going right now that are going bananas on the internet. We'll show you those. Those of you on Instagram and TikTok and Spotify and Apple and Mega, you guys can't see these videos, but if you jump on YouTube, you'll be able to see them later. But we're going to show those in a few minutes. But let's talk about what's going on the eastern seaboard. And this ought to really, really upset the commercial fishermen all over the place, because they stopped the commercial fishing of crabs up in Oregon, in central and northern California, because of the whale migration and the entanglements. They stopped commercial lobster fishing over in the eastern seaboard because of whale entanglements. But you know what, gang? None of us have ever seen the devastation of the whales the way that it's going on right now. In a year, 13 humpback whales have washed up on the beaches back on the eastern seaboard. A lot of them in New Jersey. This is absolutely ludicrous. When I grew up in the 60s and 70s, there used to be commercials on the TV all the time. Save the whales, save the whales. Everybody was into it. Everybody loved whales. And it didn't matter what side of the fence you stood on, left, right, middle. Everybody loved whales. Well, now all of a sudden, the powers to be have decided to build these wind farms. And I've been reading about this all weekend long. It was brought to my attention by someone very, very close to me. And so I went deep into this and started reading and doing research. And gang, over in Britain, they made a bunch of wind farms and killed a phenomenal amount of whales, and no one talked about it. Now they're doing the same thing in the United States of America, and they have a whole plan to build these things off of the central coast of California. But right now they're building them back east on the northern seaboard, the eastern seaboard. And it's absolutely horrible what they're doing. And these wind farms are what is, I don't care. You can have all these government people come up and speak out the side of their head. I did a ton of research and I can tell you what's happening. And I'm honest. It's all I got is my honesty. And I read and I paid attention. And this is near and dear to my heart, not just because I love whales and I think they're awesome, but my whole family business. My father started whale watching in 1967. Whales are a big part of my family. My sister worked very hard to make Dana Point the whale capital of the world. It is absolute whale watch capital of the world. It is very near and dear to our hearts. And if one whale gets killed by somebody, that's too many. These wind farms, gang, I cannot show you the videos. I wanted to show them to you, but I don't own them. You can get them on YouTube. You can go look at these wind farms, the way they make them, the cables that they use to hold these wind farms down. Here's how they plant these cables in the ocean. They don't use a big anchor. They blow the seafloor up. For lack of a better word, we'll just say dynamite with depth charges, whatever. They blow the seafloor up. Then they make these giant anchors in the bottom of the ocean out of concrete, rebar, steel, and then they hook these giant cables up to them and run them up to these windmills that are on the ocean. And then there's big cables hanging in the water that are running the electrical current through it to transfer that to the batteries so that you can have wind power for some god-awful reason. This is supposed to be the cleanest energy out there. Well, none of this other energy has ever killed 13 whales in less than a year or less than 2 months. And listen, when a whale gets killed, it sinks first, floats up later. God only knows how many whales have actually died from this. But here's what they do. They put those depth charges down there. Right now, the migration of the whale is in full swing, both east and west. And these humpbacks are swimming by this. And here's what they do. They blow it up with a depth charge. That blows the animal's eardrums out immediately. Bloom. They got no more eardrums. Then they hit it with this most intense sonar to make sure they're putting these things in the right place. And when they get their eardrums blown out, then they get hit with that sonar. They're super confused. And then they die. Now, these animals that are washing up on the beaches, these are not young animals. They are not old animals. They are teenagers. These are the cream of the crop. These are the most important whales of all the whales that are out there. These are the ones that are just getting started in the breeding program. They're just getting started on their lives. They're teenagers. They're 20-year-old animals. They're just getting started. The average lifespan is about 40 to 60 years. These are young whales, super healthy. They should not be dying. And they want to blame it on boats. They want to blame it on a bunch of crap. They want to blame it on the lobster fishermen. It's only caused by these wind farms, nothing else. And you should all wake up because they're going to do this on the West Coast. They're going to do this on the West Coast. This is devastating. Let's just pretend like they didn't kill a bunch of whales, but they did. How many fish have they killed? How many lobsters have they killed? Nobody knows. Nobody's doing any research. When they did this in Britain, they covered it all up and nobody knew. They killed hundreds of whales and dolphins and turtles. They're doing the same thing on the eastern seaboard, and no one's saying a flipping word. There's a tiny little bit of stuff coming out on the news. One of the reporters on the news talked about it the other night. We don't want to say any names of anybody because I'm not right, left, or middle. I'm just a guy talking, telling you what's going on. This makes me want to vomit. Go do your research. Go do your own research. The really only place you're going to see any videos about it or find out anything about how they plant these things and how they do all this is on YouTube, because the main media is not going to tell you because why is this accepted? Because there's a phenomenal amount of money behind it, ladies and gentlemen, an epic amount of money. There's so much money behind it that they're changing the narrative from the people that actually know what's happening. They got them lying now because of the amount of money that they're funneling into this absolute tragedy that's going on the ocean. And those of you that commercial fish for a living, you should be pissed more than I am, because they stopped you from fishing so that these whales wouldn't entangle your stuff, but then they're just wiping them out full speed, okay? I'm going to stop. I'm going to go on to the next subject. You do your own research. Don't listen to me. I'm just a dumb old fisherman. But I read a ton of stuff all week, and that's why I'm so fired up. All right. Second, those of you on Facebook and YouTube and Facebook and YouTube, I want you to watch this video.
Gonna get my finger. We're gonna get the line in my finger, and we're gonna pull. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Alright, now I'm going to be wrapping my finger around it. Hold on. Alright, I'm going to wrap my finger on it. I'm going to pull out. No, we just pulled out the poop. And that's disgusting. And we don't like poop. We'll fill that out.
Okay. That's my favorite video that I have posted in a very long time. It's probably one of the cutest videos I've ever posted. It's a young man, Raylan. He's my good friend's son. Showed us how to clean a lobster. Gang, I want to tell everybody, there are so many haters and so many people. I get about 9,000 comments a month, and I can handle it. It doesn't bother me. I laugh. But when you go after children or my wife, we got to draw the line. Gang, if you don't like what Raylan's doing there, showing you how to clean a lobster, don't watch it. But don't make poopy comments, because there's way too many poopy comments that this young man doesn't need to be reading. He's happy. He did a cool video. Nothing was wrong with it. It was really cool. And then we got these people that are just booger eaters that have to go on there and make some crappy comment to a little boy. That is the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen. And then when you make crappy comments to my wife, I'm sorry, you're banned forever. All those people that made the crappy comments to young Raylan, you're banned forever. You're never going to get to see him again or watch our videos. But that just blows my mind that people would do that. I can't believe it. And then I got to watch. This is our video that's trending right now on our web, on our. Okay, gang, so I want to show you how this chum works. I'm throwing a little bit of chum, and you watch that chum as it drifts back in the current. You're going to keep seeing the fish boil on it. Here we go. Just keep an eye on it. Boom, there's a fish right there. There goes another piece of chum. Watch it. It's drifting back towards the tree branch. Bam, another boil. As the chum gets drifting back, as the tide, there goes another big boil off to the right. As the chum drifts back towards these pieces of wood, you're going to see the fish boil on the big. Okay, so that video is going bananas right now on all my social media platforms. And it's a great video to show you exactly how the proper way to chum. And if you go and you look at some of our fish reports from the weekend, some of the people that paid attention to our game plans and went out to the artificial reefs or went out to the horseshoe or went down to the half spot in San Diego and chummed the way I suggest, throwing the bait up current so that the chum drifts back underneath your boat to where you're fishing, and then it gets to be used for that. The proper way to chum is super important when you're chumming. It is so important to make sure that when you're chumming, you're actually chumming for you and your friends that are fishing on your boat. You just don't want to be nilly-willy throwing chum off the back of the boat, because the current is smoldering down the coast or down the mangroves or wherever you're fishing. And if you're throwing the chum behind the boat or behind or off the side of the boat to the mangroves, by the time the fish eats it, they're an eighth of a mile behind your boat. You always want to throw your chum up swell, up current, up as far as you can, so that when the bait starts to get into the zone to get eaten, it's going to be right in your casting destination. Also, something that's super important to make sure that when you're chumming and you start to see those fish boiling behind the boat, don't start throwing the chum at them. Keep throwing the chum up. If you want to cast or throw something at them, cast your bait. Cast your bait at them. I don't know where Marley is, Dan. Oh, there he is. Marley, Marley, come here. He's right there. He's right up there by the dolphin. But gang, when you're chumming, it's super important to make sure you chum in the proper direction. Watch if you fish the spots proper that you get off of our website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, and if you fish proper, you're only going to be fishing spots when the current is cruising. There's got to be some type of current for the fish to bite, and it's super important to make sure you throw your bait up current so that by the time it gets into the zone, that's where your bait is. Whammo. You've increased the prey density level, and then everything starts to happen, and it's all good, and everything's going to be spectacular. Yeah, exactly. Be kind and gentle with your comments. There's no reason. There's so much negativity in the world. You don't need to come onto my post and my videos and bring your negative. Take them somewhere else. Take them to someone who loves negative. Go there and spread your neg. It's just like I say to all my members, right? Dan, Kim, the community we're building over at Your Saltwater Guide right now is absolutely amazing. We have so many members that are sharing what they're doing out on the water, catching their fish, cleaning their lobsters, doing all the cool things that they're learning how to do on the website. And then they're sharing it on the community side with zero negative. There's nobody on there sharing any negative. There's no one on there talking negative to you when you ask a simple question or you post a really cool video. There's nothing like you get on some of the other sites. We won't mention their names, but we all know who they are. There's so much negative. Most people are afraid to even post. That'll never happen at yoursaltwaterguide.com. We have over 3,700 members that are sharing all the time. The fish reports and the community reports are absolutely incredible. The amount of kindness and knowledge that are being shared over there. And I can't thank everybody enough. Those reports on the community mean so much to me because you guys are sharing what you're doing out on the water. Something I've been doing for a very, very long time. For at least 20 years, I've been sharing what we've been doing on the water. And now I'm happy that I've built a community where we all get to share what we do. I think that's probably the most important thing is to share what we're doing. And that's why I started out with this whale thing, because I just learned about it. And I was appalled when I saw the 13 super healthy humpback whales that have washed up on the beach in New Jersey. I was just appalled. And I thought it was time to share that with people. And same with the people jumping on Raylan's videos. I just think that's appalling too. And I thought it was necessary to share it. Check out all the cool videos we have at the website, yoursaltwaterguide.com. We have so many great videos over there. All of them like the one you just saw, how to clean your lobsters or how to chum. And then we have a plethora of spots that I've been able to acquire through all my years of fishing in Southern California, and I share them with you guys. And not only do I tell you where they are, but I teach you how to fish all those spots, when to fish them, offshore, onshore, downhill, uphill. All that stuff matters. Then the big thing is how to chum, how to rig, how to tie on the right hook for the right situation, sliding sinkers. Everything matters. Remember, from this point forward, if you don't ever watch another video of mine, just remember when you're watching other people's videos, here's a key to find out if they really know what they're talking about or if they're just standing up there because some tackle company told them to talk. When they use the word when they say, oh, well, no, I don't know, because that's why I'm watching you. So they don't know what they're talking about if they're using the word And the other one is and those are the two. Those are the number one and number two things. When you start to talk in front of people and you use the word and right away I know exactly who I'm listening to. Someone who has no idea what they're talking about. I don't want to hear stories about a fish you caught or your sister's cousin's aunt caught. I'm here to get some knowledge. If I'm going to listen to a video, I want some true, honest to God knowledge. And that's what you get at all of my stuff is real, honest to God. You might not like it. I might offend you, but it's still the truth. That's all I got. I'm going to tell you the truth all the time. I'm going to share with you my experience on the water and what I've learned. And I guarantee you, these whales are dying because of these wind farms. I guarantee it. I'll take it to my death. Just like a couple of years ago when I told you about Piney Point, when they were dumping all that toxins into the water in Tampa Bay. And I told you, dolphins do not die from red tide. And I yelled and screamed so much that Erin Brockovich got involved. Erin Brockovich, I don't know how she heard about it, but I was talking about Piney Point for a very long time. And I'm hoping that someone shares this. Share this video as much as you can about the whales, because this is devastating. No whale should die for a damn windmill. Ever. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. But they paid so much money that they've shut the narrative up. And it's sad. And they've changed they changed it by paying out payola. But somebody will get to the bottom of it. Way too many whales are dying. And the first thing they do is sink to the bottom. Then they bloat from the gases inside of them, and then they float. So 13 right now, what are we going to see? They're out there floating around the ocean. We don't even know how many. And you know what they're saying? I'm sorry, I'm back on this subject again. I told you I was done with it. But they got the boaters on the eastern seaboard. They have a big referendum, I think is what the word is, to tell everybody that they can't go faster than 10 knots because of these whales. That's not what killed the whales, you guys. That is not what killed all those whales. It's not boats going too fast. It's not boats getting caught on the bow of a freighter. It's these wind farms. They're bad, bad, bad news for the ocean. They're bad news for sea life. They're bad news for everything. They're not good. There's no upside to them at all. There is not. I'm sorry. You can tell me there is, but I'm still smart enough to understand that you're lying. All right, gang, that's our show for today. I'm sorry I had to throw some things out there that weren't super positive, but I think that it's important for us to know what's going on in our world, because it is we the people still for a little while longer anyway. I will be with you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have a great show. We'll stay away from the whale topic. We'll stay away from the negative people. We're just going to talk about the video that's trending tomorrow, which is going to be absolutely spectacular when you see it. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll show you a little bit of it. Keep watching us. Keep listening to us on the podcast. Don't forget, get your shirt. You want to be at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show wearing one of these shirts, wearing one of your saltwater guide shirts, because Kelly Girl has a massive bag. I'm in Cabo. 85 degrees today, flat, glassy. The water's 72. It's really nice down here today. But gang, Kelly's got a ton of free stuff, and she's giving it to everybody that swings by our booth with one of these t-shirts on. You're going to get free stuff. And then how cool would it be if when we start our live seminars there, if everybody in the audience is wearing one of these shirts? That's going to be incredible. Thank you all very, very much for all your support. I appreciate it. Kelly appreciates it. Marley, he's hiding. I don't know why. He's up here somewhere. I see his little tail. Marley appreciates it. Don't forget, you got to smash the like button on all my videos, gang. I had no idea how important it was. I hear this all the time when I watch other videos. Oh, hit the like button, hit the like button. I didn't know. That's how the algorithm runs. That's how they know that they can put these videos in front of people. So do me a favor, hit the like button. It doesn't cost you a penny. It's not going to hurt you. Every time you watch one of our videos, just hit the like button. That's all I ask. It's very simple, it's easy, and it's free. Smash the like button. Already 90% of you subscribe anyway. If you're not subscribing to our YouTube channel, please go over there and subscribe. I appreciate that. And I will be with you tomorrow. Thanks.